Mike. Not going to try your last name, and that's going to be my first question. So we're here to meet the league, meet the guys that maybe we don't see a lot or converse with a lot. So, Mike, how do you pronounce your last name?
So I've heard a lot of different pronunciations over the years. Some are less flattering, but it's Fecto.
Fecto. Okay.
Yep.
That's going to lead me into the question. Thank you for saying that. What are some of the weird things that you've heard from people or the funny things people have said about it?
The funniest one. So I'm a police officer, and before that I was a probation officer, and I was in Superior Court one time, and a Superior Court judge said, "Officer Fucktoe." Yep,
Okay.
it's in a record somewhere. So that's probably the worst and slash funniest
Yeah.
ever.
Have you had sexto?
No, that's a new one.
That's a new
I'll
one?
have to write that
Okay.
down.
Yeah. A little role playing game with your wife, introduce the old sexto. Uh, speaking of, you are married, correct?
Yes.
How long you been married? Do you have kids? Do you want a couple? What's up?
Yeah.
I got some you can
Yeah,
have.
we do. No kids yet. Been married 3 years, October 20th.
October 20th. So we're 5 days away. So I'm
Yes.
guessing you're going away this weekend for the 3-year anniversary, doing
We,
something special.
we did that this past weekend. We went over to Banner Elk. We did some hiking over in that area, about 11 and a half miles. So, some people like to relax on their anniversaries. We like to get extremely tired and pass out.
Oh, really? Hey, it sounds fun. So
Yeah.
is that some of the stuff that you do in your spare time? Like, what are some things you do that get your juices flowing?
Yes, so we do a lot of hiking. When we had our honeymoon, we went to Switzerland and hiked in Switzerland for about 10 days. So that
The
was
Alps.
all.
Wow.
Not the Alps, but a couple different locations. I think the highest we went was maybe 7 or 8 thousand feet.
Wow.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. We try to do that as much as we can. This year hasn't been as much, but we typically try to get a good couple hikes in every year.
Cool. Well, that had to be a beautiful. I mean, anytime you see
Oh
like
yeah.
movies that are
Oh yeah.
like filmed in Switzerland, that stuff is awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
it doesn't look real.
Yep. So you mentioned you're a police officer. So
Mhm.
first of all, from all the guys, especially I know Shane and myself as well. Thank you for your service. I know it's a tough job.
Sure.
And Travis is on there with you. I guess Travis is your
Hmm.
boss. So even though you're
He
his
is.
boss in
Yeah.
fantasy league, um, he's your boss in real life. So what's your favorite NFL team?
Eagles.
Oh Lord. Okay. Are you a Philly guy? Are you from Philly? Is that originally or?
No, no. I started liking them, and I think it was 1999. A buddy of mine at the time liked the Eagles, and I didn't really have a
Oh,
team,
hey,
so I just went to the Eagles.
but you stuck with them for 26 years. You finally you've got
Yeah,
a couple of rings.
yeah,
I'm guessing that what was that McNabb? Was that the McNabb years?
yep,
Yeah.
yep. That was just when it was
All right.
getting started. Yep.
Wow, cool deal. What's your college team other than ECU?
Other than ECU, I'm a Georgia Bulldog guy.
Georgia Bulldog. Man. Okay, so you are really loving the Eagles because that's all they draft is your boys. So you get to follow them their whole career.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
All right. What kind of music you into, or what's your best concert that you've been to lately, or if you do something like that?
Um, I kind of like a little bit of everything. Well, probably lean more towards the rock and country, but I'm actually getting into some Christian rap and Christian rock music. So that's been pretty good. Um,
Okay.
just a change of tempo, but the lyrics are kind of a little
Yeah.
bit better.
Uh,
So
speaking of rock in country, you like Hardy?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You could say no.
No,
I'm
no, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm a Hardy fan. Like I go there. Also a guy since how we're doing this. Have you ever heard of Steven Wilson Jr.?
I have not.
Check him out. He does like some covers. He's got like a an EP that he does covers of other bands like Nirvana and Smashing
Oh,
Pumpkins,
okay,
and it's called Blankets. So that's hilarious because they're all
okay.
covers. But he does a lot of acoustic. He's amazing. Check him out. Stephen Wilson Jr. That goes for
Okay.
everybody.
Okay.
Super, super cool. Um, so we talked about what you did in your spare time. Not going to bombard you with Andy like when you lost your virginity. We all know that. We all know that you were chaste and pristine until the day you got married. So
Exactly.
congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Um,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
so toilet paper brand.
I would say Quilted Northern.
My man, my man. I'm a Quilted Northern fan, or as my wife likes to buy, the whatever's cheap at Food Lion that day. So um, she's saying Charmin out of the background. Um, I'm assuming you're a 3 or 4 square kind of guy. So I mean, you got can't can't go too light there.
Yeah.
Walking the streets,
Has to
walking
be
the
some
beat. You
durability there.
got to be clean.
Yeah.
So here is a question. Why does your fantasy team suck so bad?
um, if you by suck you mean we're on the precipice of greatness, then yes. I don't know. I got very nervous when Burrows went down, especially with two key cogs of the Bengals offense there. But they're starting to potentially turn a corner.
So you're going to buy a Flacco jersey if you're winning.
I will say this. I think it was a couple years ago when Flacco kind of came out of retirement with the Browns and helped me out a little bit.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So hopefully he can do it again. For me.
Yeah. So I'm now. I was upset that you took Chase Brown because I was like, that was my guy.
Yeah.
Man, I'm glad you did it for the first few weeks.
Yeah, he's been.
But I'm
rough.
upset now that when I was waffling on either Jonathan Taylor or Drake London. London's starting to do something, but Jonathan Taylor's just been a top guy. So
unreal.
Have you seen a fantasy year where it seems like every single team has a guy going out for the year or getting injured, and there's 4 or 5 teams in our league that literally have 3 and 4 guys out every single week? It's crazy.
Yeah, I haven't really seen. I've played fantasy baseball for a long time, so you see a lot of different injuries, but it's never as spread out, especially for football, as I've seen it this year. This has been almost unprecedented. I just saw, Puka went down, so I mean that's another, and they're all key guys. It's not like they're the second and third stringers. It's key players at key positions.
That's the crazy thing. You're talking, I mean, quarterbacks like Burrow, Lamar, Jaden Daniels. 3 of the top 5 have been out at least 2 weeks, if not more. Then you got, the running backs, Bucky Irving, James Conner. I mean, probably going to get injured at some point. And then the wide
Trey
receivers
McBride goes down. Immediately Trey McBride. I mean, it's just one after another.
And that's where Shane and I talk about this a lot. That short bench, it's one of 2 things for you. A lot of people are like, oh, you have to have guys. We need to have IR spots. If you got injuries, it makes you drop people you wouldn't have dropped just to field a lineup. And that makes it a little bit more fun. You have more action on the waiver wire. Potential trades. I know, you send out some trades. Thanks a lot. You know what I'm talking about. Like I turn right back around 5 seconds later. I'm very passive aggressive on my trades. So let's talk after this when we're offline if we want to do a trade. But yeah, it's just been a crazy year. We're almost halfway through, and it's starting to spread a little bit. The guys at the top, you're starting to see the teams kind of line up a little bit. But again, we're talking about this right now. Next week, another injury is going to happen. Somebody's going to come back. It's going to really shake it up. And leading into that, I know you're probably aware of it, but I want to make sure everybody else is aware of this as well. We started it last year, and it just didn't come into effect. But maybe for the new guys, if they aren't sure, the top 5 teams that get in, top 5 records, no matter what they are, The sixth spot that gets in is the highest point total of the remaining 7 teams.
Yep.
Okay. That balances to where you don't have, you play everybody once, but sometimes you might play the 3 hardest teams twice.
Yep.
And it balances up those records. So even if you're not in the top 5, whoever has the most points for that 6th spot out of the remaining 7 teams are getting in.
And
so,
I can attest to that because my first year in the league, that happened. And,
yes.
And I was that on the bubble, and I was actually the 7th, but I had the highest points, so I got bumped up. So I can attest that it definitely helps for those teams that have had injuries but had put up good point totals.
Yeah.
Didn't quite crack the top 5.
Yeah.
But it kind of helps you out, balances it out.
Yeah, and that's what we wanted to do, give it to where if you just go by records, all records aren't the same. Or you have one guy, I know it may have been you a couple of years ago or last year, that they just happened to play the team that scored the most points that week like 6 times.
Yeah.
And they were barely losing. So they had like 6 losses, but they were only losing about 5 or 6 points to a guy who had 180. So, if you're putting up a good chunk of points, you have still a good shot of getting in, even though your record might be 5-8 or 5-9. So that's a little bit helpful, and I hope everybody's enjoying it this year and doing more videos and getting into it and really raising it up. So we are at about 15-16 minutes, so gonna wrap it up here. Final word from our guest this week.
Good luck to everybody. It's a lot of fun. The more we engage, and even if it's fun banner, it just makes it more, especially if your team's down with all these injuries. It definitely still makes it exciting.
Yeah.
So good luck, and I'll be sure to collect all the money at the end of the year. So I appreciate everybody.
Yeah. All right, Andy's already racked it up. He's got like 3 high scores already this year, so we know who we're chasing. So get ready. All right, thanks, Mike. Have a good one, bud.
Appreciate it, Kyle. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.